Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Caleb and I want to show you 6 creative ways that you can use Repeat Grid inside of Adobe XD. So to get started, I'm going to draw a rectangle here for a hamburger menu. And I'm just going to create this 30 pixels by, we'll just change it over here, 30 and 2 pixels tall. And we're going to go ahead and remove the border and just make sure that this fill is all the way white. So we have the top line of our hamburger menu, and we can just hold down Option and we can copy these things. Or if we want to be consistent with our spacing, we just click this Repeat Grid, and now we can pull down and we can see these lines here. And let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. So now I can actually just click inside this area and scale down my padding to be around 8 pixels here, and we have ourselves a nice hamburger menu. So that's one creative way that you can use Repeat Grids. And another way is creating a More menu. So a More menu, we already have a circle right here, and the same thing, we can hold down Option and we can make sure that these are 8 pixel spacing in between them. But if we want to be a little bit smarter about that, what we can do is grab this circle, click on Repeat Grid, and now we can just pull this back. We see that we have a padding of 20 pixels. We're just going to bring that down to 6 pixels maybe. And the neat thing about this is I can choose, if I just click on the element inside this Repeat Grid, I can change this to be just completely white here, and everything changes within these circles. So there we go, we have a More menu now. The third creative way is in doing 5-star ratings, and I'm going to show that to you here. If we use this 5-star rating system, we can click on the star, click Repeat Grid, and just drag this horizontally over here until we get 5 stars. And let's just make this padding, let's say 4 pixels here. So that's really fast, but a really cool use for Repeat Grids in a 5-star rating system is that you can actually crop this at half of a star here. So very easily you can choose to have 4.5 stars, 3.5 stars, and change that on the fly. Now perhaps one of the most common uses for Repeat Grids is in lists like this. So we can actually select all of these elements here, and if we just click on Repeat Grid, we can just pull this down a few times. I'm just going to change the spacing here, and 6 pixels is good. So we can change that, and I'm just going to add one more here, just bring it down to the bottom. And we've got that set up here. And one thing that makes Repeat Grids really nice is the option that you have to change the text within inside these grids. So to show you this, I'm just going to open up my Finder window. And I have a little file here that's songtext.txt. And all this is, if I double click it, is just some text that's broken down by a return key. And you just want to make sure that it has a .txt at the end. And if it does that, you can actually just drag and drop this text file right on the text square, and it populates each one of these uniquely. So very fast, we have content that's being generated in our Repeat Grid. Now for this album slider here, we can very quickly generate the same content and afterwards create a Repeat Grid that creates new columns over to the right. So let me show you what I mean here by opening up the Finder window again. And here we have our artist text. So if I just drop this file on the album title, you can see that it changes that to Bright Glory. That's the first line of text inside this text file. But I can also select all of these images, and it's important to select all of them. And I can just drag the first one onto this image here. And so we can see that that dragged over pretty easily, and I haven't even created a Repeat Grid yet. So I'm just going to click on this object, and I'll click on this one as well. And I'm going to click on Repeat Grid now, and notice what happens when I drag this over. There's new content for each element that's created, and I can change the spacing the same, and there we have very easily a Repeat Grid for album covers. So within minutes using Repeat Grid, we've created some icons, we've created our album covers, our songs, and also our rating system. And the power behind this is quite clear. We can click on any of these objects here, we can drag these around, and we can see the changes reflect on all the other elements inside the Repeat Grid system. Same here, if I want to change the radius here to 20 pixels, let's say, I can change any one of these and all of them change. So very powerful stuff. The last creative way to use Repeat Grids that I want to show you is in creating a pop-up menu. So I'm just going to hold down Option here. I'm going to drag my artboard over to the right and just duplicate that. And let's say that somebody clicks on this menu icon here. So I've already created the elements. It's just a rectangle, a text object, and a little icon here. So I'm just going to select all of these and just drop this over here. You notice it has a nice background blur on here, and that's what I've set here. But now I can actually click on these two icons here. I'm going to choose Repeat Grid again and just bring this down. I'll bring it down, 20 times or so, and I'm just going to go back into my Finder menu, and I have my menu items here. I'm going to drag this on the top, and we can see that it stops right here at My Account, and then it starts back at Top Rated. So this will keep on repeating and using the same text. Once it runs to the end, it'll start at the beginning again. And so we don't want that here, so we can just crop this here to show My Account, and we have a nice menu system. So that's it, guys. Within minutes we were able to use the Repeat Grid and generate unique content for all of our objects. And these are just a few ways that I use Repeat Grids within my workflow. If you're just getting started with Adobe XD, it's a free program that you can download here. And I also have a course on Udemy. Now, if you enroll in this course, there's exercise files and ways for you to follow along step by step on each of the sections that I cover. Again, my name is Caleb, and thanks for watching.